I thought I'd give you a review of my 2022 Beta XTrainer 300. Just to give you some background, I came off a 2017 KTM 300 with an Electron carburetor, and before that I had a Argentina KTM 6-day Argentina, and so I'm quite used to that kind of a bike. And I have to say that this XTrainer has slightly, and when I say slightly, I mean really slightly lesser power in the power band, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Why do I say that? Because I personally like hard enduro. I like the tough stuff. I like going off logs, big logs, taking hill climbs, that kind of thing. Having said that, this is the bike for it. Why would I say so? Just the other day, I think the last ride I rode, it was raining and it was slushy, and I felt that this bike does a better job than either one of the other two bikes. Now, it's lower than my previous KTM, and I have to say that I like the height, but you kind of have to get used to it. And what do I mean by getting used to it? Well, previously when I used to ride the KTM, I couldn't really put my feet down. My feet could never really touch the ground. I'm about 172 centimeters, about 5'6", 5'7", and my feet could never really touch the ground. Therefore, I don't put my feet down. And even on the iffy sections, I try to keep my feet up. But with this bike, because it's lower, you have that confidence, I would say, to put your feet down, or when it gets a bit sketchy. So when my first few rides, I put my feet down and I lost the bike about 2 or 3 times because the bike shot away from me. Now, bearing in mind that I was still getting used to the bike then, and I had thought that riding this XTrainer, they talk about a lot of tractoring power on first gear, and it does have tractoring, and it can tractor up slopes slowly, with the trotter. But I find that you don't need to if you're used to riding a 2-stroke 300. You're probably climbing up hills on second gear, which I used to do, and when I first got the XTrainer, I thought I could change that, so I tried to use first gear, and it does have the lugging power, but bear in mind, it is still a 300, so you will loop it still. So I went back to using second gear, even on no run-up, flat hill climbs without any runway. And in second gear, of course, you have to gas it a bit more, and it would still go up without any problem. It would still tractor up on second gear, provided you use a bit more clutch. Yes, so like I said, it's got enough power for everything a KTM and a Husky can do. And I'm going to show you some clips right now.
So here you'll see a buddy of mine on a KTM 300 Chili model, and there is a little bit of a gap and a slope before that log, so that's why there's a bit of trouble getting up this log. And my buddy on a Husky TE 300, he got stuck as well. They say that the Beta 300 is a bit lower, but I never had problems, or haven't had problems crossing log, and here I am. I managed to clear it. I was lucky maybe.
Yes, as you've seen those clips, it's not, that was lucky, of course. It's not that I'm a better rider than my friends. It was just lucky on the day itself that I could clear those logs. But having said that, everything that a KTM can do, or a Husky can do, I believe that this Beta XTrainer can do as well. Now, having said that, I like to ride hard enduro. I like the tough stuff. And this bike shines on the tough stuff. When I say tough, I mean like the last ride. It's rainy here where I come from, so it's been raining all the time. So my last ride, it was very wet, and this is where it shines, in the wet. The previous week was a bit drier, and you kind of I didn't ride as well in the dry, just purely because it's a lot faster. Now with this bike, it's a lot faster in terms of pace with your friends, with my friends at least. So when they ride fast, I have to kind of keep up, and it's not that it suffers. I wouldn't say that it suffers in terms of speed. It's got the same power. It's just maybe the suspensions are a bit softer, so you kind of have to be wary of that in cornering sections or that kind of thing. But just a little bit. I personally prefer to go slow. I like to go slow. So if you're the type of rider that likes to go pretty slow, or you don't like to really ride hard and fast all the time, I think this is the perfect bike for you. Having said that, I have joined races, and I do intend to join races in the future, and I believe that this bike, it is possible. It is possible to keep up with the big boys, I would say. I wouldn't write this off because it's a XTrainer, because I think it is, at the end of the day, still a 300. It's still a 300 engine. It's still got the raw power when you need it to. It was still really at third and fourth gear. It's got, it's just a slightly less. Now bear in mind, I've been riding in rain mode, even in the dry. When I say rain mode, this bike has got, it's probably just like the KTM has a mode 1 and mode 2. This has a rain mode and a sunny mode. I find that the sunny mode is way too powerful. In first gear, when I was climbing up hills and all that kind of thing, my bike kept wheeling, so I changed it to rain mode. In second gear, climbing up hills without even without runways, it's fine. You just have to clutch in a bit more and it works just fine. So far I've had 6 rides on it, just to give you some background. And so would I recommend it? I would recommend it, I think, especially if you're a rider around my height, 5'7", 5'6", 5'7". It helps a lot. Everything else, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Some stuff that I added include a clutch protector, engine case protector, clutch, mid-back clutch, a P-Tech exhaust guard, a P-Tech radiator guard, and a lug strap, a handlebar protectors from HBs, and the most important, tubeless, so I can run at really low pressure.